Hello and welcome to Spongebob Squarepants, creature from the Krusty Krab. This is a test of the overlay that I have for Game Boy Advance, and we are going to be playing this game. And yeah, that's pretty much self-explanatory. We're going to be playing. Actually, there's an options menu. I did not know this game had an options menu. I don't remember if that's playing in 3 because if I play in 3, here's the explanatory thing. Play in 3, I don't have to worry about issues if I want to record this later. Diesel Dreaming. Oh, I remember this. I hated this mission. Bikini Bottom. It is nighttime, and its residents are peacefully asleep in their beds. Zzz. Wow! My license? And my first car? This is the greatest day ever! I can't do SpongeBob's voice. I can partially do the laugh, but I can't do the voice. I never thought this day would come. Congratulations, SpongeBob! Cool. Cool cars. No, I can't do Plankton's voice either. Mr. Lawrence and Tom Kenny are two great people. Cool cars mean nothing if you can't drive it. If you're a man, go on to the Bikini 5000 and show me what you've really got. Speed is my middle name, and racing is my game. And now, welcome to the Bikini 5000. Racers on your marks, get set, go. Race to the finish. Spin in the air to get health. A is jump. B is gas. I do not. This is a test. I don't know how to spin, but we'll just learn how to play this game. When I was a kid, this game gave me so many nightmares. Because we should be good. This should be. The goal is to beat every character. And we got Patrick now. So we should be good when it comes to like problems. Kinda gotta jump. There's the Chrome House from Future. There we go. And the final person you have to beat is Plankton. I don't know why did I hate this so much? Was I just a young kid super bad at video games? Or was it just because of the health? And not understanding that you can just pile through Gary and then out jump Patrick. Maybe that. Maybe I just was bad at timing my jumps and everything. That is a thing. Like, you have to time your jumps properly in this game. I don't know. I believe they can go ahead of you again if you're not careful. I'm trying to remember. But I haven't played this game since I was a young wee whippersnapper. Young child. That should be it, right? Jump over the potholes and swerve through blockades through the tunnel. Oh, that's why. It's because the Game Boy Advance games were a little annoying like this because they couldn't really use 3D. So you really were stuck with whatever they gave you. And this 2D is annoying. I don't remember this part, so I don't know. Maybe I just played in arcade mode, which could be a possibility. Down, 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 down. The music is like, it's music's bumping. Da 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 da. I missed that. Could have gotten me health. Collect 5 engine parts before your hot rod breaks down. Bring the part back to the hot rod to repair it. I think this is the... This is the part that hurt me as a child. You ever have just something that hurt you as a child when it comes to gaming? Yeah, it was that. I missed the piece. Here we go. There we go. That's one. I can't go up and get number 2 because, well... Here we go. There we go. Need to go up. A muffler. Z. Okay. Jellyfish. You want to pain in my butt. We have to... Yeah. Yeah, I know, game. Thanks for letting me know. I screwed up the jump. Yeah, you also lose health. Now I remember why I didn't like this one. There's another one I didn't like, but it's all because Game Boy Advance couldn't handle 3D. So what you're seeing is all just a 2D render of a 3D plane, which it's the DS got better with. But the DS was not the greatest either. The DS did it well enough, I would say. But can't get it. Actually, yeah, we can. Fuck. There we go. That's better. But when it comes to like the DS and the Game Boy Advance, the DS was better at emulating 3D. Or pretending to be 3D. Maybe just because of what people made on the console. Or in that handheld, but it was for the other consoles. I don't know how I did that. But yeah, the DS was better at doing stuff like that. And the winner of the Bikini 5000 is Spongebob. Woohoo, I'm the winner! Just a sprint across the finish line. The race comes to an end. Ah! Avoid jellyfish on your way down. Fly through the rings to get health. Yeah, DS is better at emulating 3D, but you did get stuff like this, which is kind of cool. Because the Game Boy Advance did have technical capability, it just maybe not the greatest with it. That's why you always see, like, if you see a Game Boy Advance game, you usually see it on DS, or a version of it on DS. But you also will see, because of the cross between the two consoles, but then you might see it on Wii or GameCube, and that's always a strange thing for me. It's like, GameCube is cool, but it's weird to see a GameCube game, or a 2D Game Boy game on Game Boy Advance. And as I said, the music in this game is banging. So. I don't need those, but... Whoa! Whoa! What was that? Oh yeah, a dream. Awesome. And then it immediately goes into the next one. We are not going to be doing the next one. So, what I'm going to say is, this game... Shut it. I have to just cut it. There we go. One of the cool things about the Game Boy Advance versus the DS, or versus the GameCube, and versus the Wii, is that the Wii was good for what I would call pointer games. These are on-rail games. You usually saw them in arcades with the fake guns or fake blasters or what have you. Nintendo did a really good job with that system, and that's why you see some of the similarities that you do see with the Switch, where the Switch has some of those game capabilities. And the reasoning, and that's just a basic reasoning for it. What's really cool with GameCube is GameCube was a advancement on the N64. It was their version of a console that could compete with Xbox and I believe the PlayStation 2 at the time. Which, for Nintendo games and for some of the stuff that was on the GameCube, which was a bit more family friendly and just really good, it's actually pretty impressive of comparing the two consoles at that time versus the Switch and the PS5 and Xbox X now, where Xbox X and PS5 are fairly similar when it comes to capabilities, but the Switch is lagging behind. And the reasoning why is because it mostly only runs Nintendo titles or indie titles. It doesn't run typically titles that require strenuous graphical capabilities. That's why an older Switch is going to have a bit of a hard time running Tears of the Kingdom, just because it's a lot of work. Then you compare that to 3DS, DS, Game Boy Advance, because those came out in that part of the era, the early 2000s, up until even the Switch coming out. The 3DS was an improvement. It added 3D capabilities, but I would say it didn't impress me. Thinking about it, it was just a bigger console. But of the consoles, the Game Boy Advance and DS were quite impressive because the DS and Game Boy Advance both pretended to have they both pretend to have 3D in their own way. While the Game Boy Advance couldn't handle 3D at the slightest, it typically would go and render usually layer upon layer and create a set of 2D layers on top of each other, and that's how it would push backgrounds and such. The DS could minimally run 3D, and that's why you can see a few titles on DS that they look 3D, or you think they're 3D, but they're not 3D. And it's just because of graphical processing capability, and it's just a cool concept. I do want to do a video on that and just talk about it, because Nintendo has gone through a lot when it comes to graphical processing and how resolutions work, and how they can control the market by making consoles that don't have screens that are typical resolutions. Well, anyway, that's for another time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you next one. Bye-bye.